What a beautiful view I have from here. It's really a dream come true. Good afternoon to everyone, to Miss Julia Morley, to all the distinguished judges, to the Miss World family, to all the viewers from home. I'm Andrea Romero, Miss World Colombia. Since I was a kid, I love to talk. I think some girls may confirm. And maybe that is why I chose as my career social communication and journalism. And maybe because of that, I'm a speaker as well. But there was a moment where my voice was silent. In school, since 6 years old until 18 years old, I suffered a really harsh, heavy bullying that I think that no kid should pass through. A bullying that remembers me one of the things they called me, a worm. And you may ask me, why a worm? From all the beautiful animals on planet, would you like to be a worm? A tiny and insignificant worm? And I felt like that. The recess for a normal kid is amazing. For me, it was a tragedy. I can't wait to go to class. So I just got into the bathrooms in the toilet. I cried so much. And I ate chocolate because that made me feel good. So I was that, just a worm. When I was 16 years old, I decided to give the same messages I wanted to give in my school through social media. And I had the opportunity to be invited by the President of the Republic of Colombia to the palace as an influential social leader. I went and I said, I want to give a present to the president, but what can you give a gift to a president of an entire nation? And in the middle of the pandemic was one of the worst moments of Colombia's history that are forever etched in our memory. It was a violent period where stones were being thrown by desperate youth as a protest. So I decided to do something different. I took one of that same stones from the street and I gave it to the president in the palace as a gesture of reconciliation. And that movement changed my life. The indicators of violence decreased, and I just discovered how a simple gesture may inspire an entire nation. And there is where Inspirat was born. A movement that encourages emotional education, emotional wellness, and mental health. I go to schools, to institutions, through the art of inspiration so kids can find their own purpose. The UNESCO states that 1 of 3 students pass through boredom in school, and the Pan American Health Organization states that lack of purpose, demotivation, and hopelessness are true factors of the suicide rates among worldwide. So that is why I do Inspirat. And I understood that insignificant tiny
Step aboard Catherine Cruz
had just become a beautiful butterfly. And a butterfly that flies so high, not really for herself, but to help others discover the wings to discovering their own flight. And I think that's a Miss World. A butterfly that inspires with her words, with her actions. Let me tell you that this is not the end of the story. And that I discovered what I was born for, to inspire. Because inspiration is the flame of purpose. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Colombia. Well done.